cybersecurity, we develop only cybersecurity products that focusing on detection and response, and we have next-gen security information and event management products, and also have value-added services to support our end users and partners. And we try to develop new features every time. We are our key differentiator as a company that we always believe that innovation is the the most important point for cybersecurity, because the environment, the cybersecurity threats, attackers are always getting complicated every day, and a cybersecurity vendor should be very innovative and should catch any development or any improvement in the industry. So we commit ourselves, we commit Logsign and us to provide our products in the smartest and simplest to use way possible. You'll see that Logsign is one of the fastest SIEM products in the market that can easily be deployed and the simplest to use interface to use SIEM products. Because if you have experienced the other products in the market, you can see that the deployment lasts longer and the products can be chaotic to use it. But Logsign can be simply and fastly deployed on the environment, and easily it can be used. Our customers are mostly in the small and mid enterprise market, and we have a very good customer base, more than 600 in every industry. We are, I'm sorry, I'm excited. So I forgot to share my screen. Okay, and before jumping, I need to mention another point, that Logsign is recognized by Gartner and KuppingerCole and Forrester research companies. Last year in 2021, Logsign is mentioned in Gartner SIEM Magic Quadrant in the honorable mentions section. We are a Gartner client for 5 years and doing vendor briefings. So each Gartner analyst working on the SIEM market can refer Logsign to you if you have option to ask. Here you'll see our, sorry, here you'll see some of our customers that they are, you can see that every industry we have customers. We have customers in energy industry, energy providers, insurance, factoring and e-payment companies, retail and manufacturing, transportation, higher education and healthcare companies. And for now, we are operating in 4 continents, more than 30 countries, and we are trying to increase our base with SoftProm, and so we are here right now. We can provide you our reference list also, and as for now, I can say that our customer base is lying on a line that from Brazil to Indonesia, that we started to build our customer base across our 600 customers already. And let's have a look at what problems Logsign solve for you, for our customers. That SIEM products provides compliance. SIEM products secure organizations with increased visibility, real-time detection and response. And Logsign is a SIEM product that worth to invest, because the customers need that strong cyber security, because they need to have full coverage of network visibility. They need to monitor their network real time and have actionable results, actionable insights to have. And they need to have real detection of any threats and vulnerabilities and automated response to decrease mean time to response. And for compliance requirements, we all know that for European countries, especially, the GDPR is the most important point right now. And Logsign SIEM provides compliance for GDPR and PCI DSS and other compliance specifications. And with Logsign SIEM, you can protect your sensitive data, you can store data for a long time, and you can protect the organization from high fines, because we know that because of the GDPR regulations and not meeting the requirements, some of the companies had to have high fines from the governments. And when we look at the SIEM market, as I mentioned before, because of the hard and long deployment processes and chaotic interfaces, when a company gets a SIEM product, sometimes they cannot use the product efficiently. But as we claim that Logsign is easy to use and easy to deploy product, when you invest Logsign SIEM, you can be sure that the product cannot be left aside. All the security users, security analysts can use the product very easily. And let's take a look at the product, how our product differentiates in the market. This is my last slide. After this, I will give over the presentation to Mahmoud, and he will continue with the technical features and the demo session. And the key points that differentiates Logsign in the market that, first of all, the most important points I will mention here, the rapid and painless deployment, as I mentioned. Logsign has more than 400 predefined integrations, predefined built-in integrations. It makes Logsign can be deployed rapidly and painless. And with the architecture, the Hadoop architecture and NoSQL architecture, you can create a superpowered data lake. It's completely scalable, vertical and horizontally. It provides high availability and provides you to create a super powered data lake. And Logsign works fast, as I mentioned before, with the architecture, with the help of the architecture. Logsign searches and investigates the enriched data in milliseconds. And also you can experience this in the product. With the SIEM product, we visualize the actionable results, the hundreds of predefined dashboards, the powerful wizards and reports are ready in the product. And also it's easy to create new ones or modify the reports as you want. And the product detects real-time the attacks, threats, and vulnerabilities with in-memory threat intel. And also it uses MITRE ATT&CK and cyber kill chain frameworks when real-time detection. And we have an extensive integration framework. So the product is always integrated easily on the environment with all your devices, security devices and other softwares, and collects more logs. And with the capability of incident response, we also have a wide range of response integrations. As I said, it's always helps you to be compliant and feel safe to get ready for the compliance requirements. And we have value-added services like for all deployment stages, we are with you as a vendor, both our partners and our end users. We ensure you that we are with you on the onboarding process, that you'll be sure that the product is okay and you get what you want. And on the other side, we provide co-managed services also. if you don't want to, this is for our partners exactly. If they don't want to offer support services or command services, we can add this feature for our customers too. And one of the the key point is out-of-the-box incident management response capabilities that Logsign with the MITRE ATT&CK and cyber kill chain frameworks detects the threats and makes the investigations and provides you the response capability and show you the incident cards. And so this makes you easy to respond on the attacks and threats in real time as it has the SOAR capabilities. I'm okay right now. Mahmoud, can you take over?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, I got the microphone. And hello, everyone. Thanks for joining again. This is Mahmoud talking, and I'm the Technical Solutions Manager at Logsign. And today I would like you to understand the architecture and how we are seaming the network and the key features on the demo presentation. So let's start with the architecture and infrastructure of Logsign as a technical perspective and approach. And you can create your own data lake and a superpower data lake with Logsign SIEM. And please note that Logsign SIEM is the first Hadoop embedded SIEM solution. So that brings some advantages to having a scalable architecture for both horizontal and vertical. So you can scale your architecture up to N nodes as horizontal and up to enterprise grade scalabilities. You can use the infrastructure to handle more EPS amounts, and role-based and service-based enrichments can be done, and you can use it with cluster architecture and HA. And it's really a simple and fast deployment for the hybrid environments. It can be deployed on the on-prem environments, also on the private cloud deployments, also possible for Logsign. You can do a long-term data storage and retention, and high-capacity data collector for distributed events. Distributed environments is also possible. So in our next slide, we will talk about the integration capabilities. We have an extended integrations and over 400 built-in data collection integrations we have. This is the key point, one of the key points of Logsign SIEM, because most of the SIEM deployments take a few weeks, and most of the time has been escalated from the data collection part, because it will not take a few weeks, the integrations and data collection with Logsign, because we have over 400 predefined security network, database, operating system, and different kind of system integrations. And you can create your own custom parser for unstructured data. And our free plugin services are being provided by our product team without any additional cost. We are always with our customers to create a new integrations for response or data collection. And over 100 of built-in response integrations you can do for a comprehensive automation processes. You can block an IP, disable a user, or isolate the host from the network, or you can do different kind of investigations by getting integrated with security platforms and third-party threat intelligence tools to make a deeper investigations and also the automations. So also you can reduce the data noise with the data policy management and get the unnecessary data filtered. The classification, normalization, modifications, and mappings will be done automatically after you finish your integrations just within a few seconds. After just a minute, you can start monitoring everything inside. This is a central monitor to collect and monitor every activities inside. So some of the integration methodologies we're using to get the events with syslog, API from cloud environments, flow type integration to get the activities from the network devices, and more. And the next time we will talk about other features like monitorings and investigations. Here it is some enrichment methodologies that we are using. And using different kind of enrichments, it's not enough to get the data as parsed and normalized. We have to enrich it for more deeper investigations and orchestrations and detailed incident managements. We are using asset and identity enrichments to use it the priorities and behaviors of the users and the objects. And in-memory real-time threat intelligence enrichment is also possible. Logsign SIEM has their own threat intelligence sources, over 45, well-trusted, and global threat intelligence kits to enrich the data with these threat intelligence information. And using geolocation enrichment, network services like position and location, behavior analytics capabilities, context enrichment that these users are suspicious or not, and different kind of enrichments we are using for a deeper data investigations and drill down analysis. For the searching, let's jump to the other slide. And you can find everything just in milliseconds and do the investigations easily. Logsign SIEM provides different kind of investigations and drill down analysis like drill down, full text, advanced, Google-like, Lucent search, and more. It's really important to find the data quickly more than finding it. And thanks to the infrastructure of Logsign using a fully NoSQL architecture, you can find everything, all the incidents, evidences, and events just within a few milliseconds among millions and billions of data. So you can investigate correlated and enriched data and unstructured data as well. You can do the threat hunting for hidden threats, for IOCs and IOAs, and validate the threat levels, do the incident triage, and upon forensic investigations easily. Then you can monitor everything. Hundreds of out-of-the-box dashboards and monitorings at different categories is being provided, like security monitorings, user activities, file integrity monitoring, cloud infrastructure, MITRE ATT&CK, threat intelligence, and more. These are all predefined with different type of widgets. These are all the powerful wizards and easy to create, configure, and customize. You can also create some role-based access control roles for different teams to monitor different actions. Use the dynamic search filters, drill down search on the dashboards, and filtering is so easy and simple. And for the security and compliance reporting, you can use the built-in report templates, over 1,000. And these are all built for vendor-specific or across some regulation needs. You can be compliant and feel safe with Logsign. And it's really easy to create and configure and create and export and schedule the reports by using this compliance type reports like PCI DSS, ISO 27001, HIPAA, SOX, GLBA, GDPR, and more. And ad hoc reporting, executive reporting, and also delegation is also possible with Logsign SIEM. And it's time to detect and response. And Logsign SIEM detects the attackers on their first attempt and first touch by the help of over 500 built-in correlation rules prepared by the cyber kill chain parameters and MITRE ATT&CK framework. Every activity as abnormal can be detected inside just within a few seconds. So also you can do and create risk-based, rule-based, behavior, threat, vulnerability-based, or cross-correlations, historical correlation rules easily by using the wizards or the templates, or you create your own. And also an advanced behavior analytics capabilities with threat intelligence and rich data is also possible for a detailed risk scoring. And also you can detect the threat and anomaly detections and zero-day attacks. These are for the detections. It's now manage the incidents that detected for the response. You can do automated and or semi-automated responses by using the action cards. You can see all the incident response stages and manage the incident lifecycle easily in Logsign. You can see all the previously triggered incidents, MITRE ATT&CK metrics, incident timeline, summary information that uses this and shows the risk scores and total and the daily risk score changes. And you can manage all the incidents by using the visual cards for investigation, detection, and response. And I think that's it. You can stay with us by using the documents and articles on support.logsign.com and use the e-learning platform of Logsign and watch the videos. And free, you can sign up on academylogsign.com. Thank you for listening to our presentation. If you don't have any questions so far, free. Oh. Okay, let me close the chat box. And yes, now you can see the screen of Logsign SIEM. So at first, once you finish the deployment of the SIEM solution, you have to integrate your data sources. The most important point is to make the capacity planning correctly and manage the inventory before the deployment, because we need to know from which necessary event sources we will need to collect the events. So adding a new one is so simple and easy. You can just come to the device list and add a new log source. Just want to see the screen above. So here it is. You can see the previously integrated log sources with different methodologies. So adding a new one is so simple, as I mentioned. Here we have 11 different integration methodologies. If there is an event, if there is a log in a text file, on a database or a table, or clouds, or on a system or service network device or security device, Logsign will go and collect it. The mostly used integration is syslog from network and security devices. We always suggest start integrating everything with security sources. And here it is. You can see the previously added predefined integration library. Includes all the antivirus, EDRs, firewalls, databases, and more. If you want to integrate one, for example, a Cisco device, you can just select it, and Logsign SIEM will ask you which product of Cisco you want to integrate. Because for each product of each vendor, we have different parsers. We call them as plugins. You can just give the ID, and give a name, and go. Everything will start automatically. You can directly jump to dashboards and start monitoring the attackers. You can collect the data from API from the cloud, from Office 365, GCP, VMware, Sophos XDR, SentinelOne, Cloudflare, and more. And read the log from or network device type integrations. And another point is Logsign leaf mode. Leaf mode is the collector mode of Logsign. So if you have more than one branches and locations, you can deploy leaves to different locations. And these collectors will collect the events from the necessary event sources and send it to the central SIEM in a secure protocol. So you will get the load of the parsing of the data from the central SIEM and manage the events and incidents easily. So you can use different kind of integration methodologies and finish all the integration in a single day. Then after you've finished, now it's time to response integrations. You can integrate your firewalls, Active Directories, EDRs, investigation platforms for more comprehensive response, incident response processes. We have a firstly API approach. So the integrations are being done over API. You can integrate your vulnerability management and enable the demo mode. The demo mode is the simulation mode of Logsign SIEM. Here it is. You can see all the predefined integration library of Logsign. So let's consider that you have Fortinet firewall and want to change it to Checkpoint or Palo Alto. You can just come to this list, select the device and enable. Then Logsign SIEM will start to generate sample logs into your selections. These are the fake logs with the confidential information. The logs are real, but the usernames, IPs are the fake. So you will be able to see which event categories from this device will come, how Logsign makes normalization and parsing, and which dashboard or rules I can create before making that integration. You will be ready. So let's consider that you have integrated your log sources and response and enabled on the demo mode. So now you can start to monitor everything inside. Internal traffics, external ones, and other type of user activity monitorings. These are the predefined dashboards. But before it, let me show you how we can search for any results within a few milliseconds. So for today, we have hundreds of thousands of events, and you can change the time preset and see the time analysis for the event activity changes. And how to find a result among millions of data. Here you can see the event severities with different colors on the left side and event categories on the right side. And the smart filters on the left side to make a quick data aggregation. Mostly active IP addresses. or mostly active usernames among all of the data, or mostly visited destination IPs or ports. You can quickly aggregate and see the data. And using the event source vendor, you will be able to see from which event source, how many events have been collected. As you can see here, there is a wide pattern that we have collected the events. So how we can search for any results? We use Apache Lucene query language here, but you don't have to know it. You can just type any word, just like typing a word on Google. For example, let's see the virus activities. Just within a few seconds, you will be able to see all the virus activities inside, within all the log sources. Here it is. The data has been filtered. You can see all the events in a nested column architecture. This is the human-readable style of Logsign SIEM during the normalization. All the details about under source and destination, events, time, URL, application, the details will be grouped under it. So what is the advantage of it? Just click on any detail or details. I'm clicking on the source IP and that will be added to the search bar automatically. This is a Lucene search. Now we will see just the transactions for this IP address on all the devices that you have integrated. And you can see from which devices, how many events are being collected. So it doesn't matter from which event source the data is coming. Logsign normalization in a single standard like this. You can quickly aggregate it, see the time analysis for these activities, and divide it and focus on any specific area and reduce the time interval for a quick analysis. Or you can use Boolean operators near it, or you can use combined filter. Just see the DNS activities for this IP, or you can use AND or NOT Boolean operators, round, square, and curly brackets to define some ranges. Or you can use wildcards. If someone has downloaded a PDF file, you can easily search for everything with this clear text search. Also, if you don't know how to search and results, you can just type 2x and all the predefined mini queries will be listed. Type delete and see all the deleted activities. If a system rule deleted, file, table, user, you can just see it just within a few seconds. After you finish creating your filter, you can create a quick reports, see the evidence and details about the event, and quickly jump to dashboard to start monitoring, to create your own ones. Which kind of monitorings you can do? Let's consider you have to integrate your security devices. Just start monitoring the attack analysis. Here it is the internal attackers, external ones. These are we're using the network services to enrich the data. If the data, if the source is coming from outside or this is an outgoing traffic. And destination ports, interfaces, if the attacks have been detected, blocked, or just for information, and from which countries, for how many times they're attempted to connect. You can do the monitoring of security overview to see all the security activities with different categories, risky events, source and destination countries, and categories with the counts. Do the monitoring of threat intelligence, analysis, and overview. Overview will show you the events or threat intelligence activities, source and destination countries that are connecting with the counts. Also, you can do the micro-attack monitoring. If any PowerShell command has been run or which kind of threat intelligence, for example, you can see which kind of activities and tags and micro-attack techniques and IDs has been detected, destinations, alerts, categories, and the run processes on PowerShell with the command line executed commands. Identity management, you can do the monitoring of user activity monitorings to see the created and deleted users, reset password activities, locked users. And for example, if you want to see the activities of John, you can just type here and all the widgets will be refreshed according to the results for John. And you, without removing the filter, you can just see the VPN activities for John. Jump to another dashboards. Here it is. And you can remove it to see all the activities. And what kind of other monitorings you can do, let me examine. And identity management, database monitoring, application server monitoring, network activities, including the protocol center and bandwidth analysis, and HTTPS analysis, file integrity monitoring if someone has changed the permission on a shared folder or file, or if someone has moved the file, delete it, execute it, read or write. And you can do the monitoring of your taxonomies, system events, and more. These are all the predefined ones. And you can also create your own by using the wizards. We have 24 different widget types for different analysis and monitoring styles, and you don't have any limit to create your own. And let's jump to the reports. As for the integrations and the dashboards, also you can install your reports according to your integrations. For example, you have integrated a Palo Alto device. You can just like Palo Alto and see the report logs. Palo Alto firewall, all the events, antivirus activities, threats, and more. Once you download it, you will see 8 new reports has been installed with different styles. 8 report types we have in Logsign for different kind of analysis, for table analysis, histogrammic, correlator reports, group loss for mathematical calculations, map type, and more. You can search for the report's results using the name, attack activities, for example, and the categories, report types, and the compliance. For example, if you want to see the PCI DSS regulation pack reports, all the report logs will show the results. Trend Micro, Cisco, Palo Alto, Microsoft account management, especially. Let's see, for example, the activities for reset password analysis. Just open the report, you will see a graph and the table results. And use the smart filters on the left side again. Or without editing the report, you can add a new filter here. For example, just see the results for MIA. And just again, within a few milliseconds, again, filter this. Use the time analysis or export it as PDF, Excel, or HTML, or easily customize it. Once you want to export it, just within a few seconds, the report will be exported. Then you can download it or send it to anyone with just one single click. Or you can schedule the reports. You can the report that you have selected and name it as, for example, morning coffee reports. Every morning, during your drinking your coffee, you want to see the yesterday's spyware activities, malware events, enabled accounts, or other type of activities, unlock event analysis. You can add the reports, add or remove the graphs or tables, select the time range, formats, and every day or every week or once, select the users, and these reports will be generated and sent to the related people. So far we have talked about the log management things, about the integrations, searching, monitoring, and reporting. Let me show you the detection and response capabilities that we're really proud of. Firstly, I would like to start with the behaviors and the lists inside incidents and the alerts. These behaviors, we have over 400, and make the checkup of your system after you finish your incidents. So here it is, how we are doing the behavior analytics with Logsign. For example, how Logsign detects the brute force attacker host. Let me edit it. It's looking at all the login failure activities. If a source IP has login failure 6 minutes over 100 times, this IP will be added to this list. This is the detection how Logsign does for the brute force attackers. You can levels at any time and customize for your own company standards. After you added this IP to this lists, also you can tag it as suspicious, attacker, or victim. So at any time, you can see the results for suspicious IPs users inside, because Logsign SIEM makes the enrichment using these behavior analytics capabilities. Let me show a little example to you. If you type context source IP suspicious or source username, source IP suspicious, And this will show all the suspicious IP addresses for today and from all type of integrations. You can open just one of them to see if they are suspicious, why they are suspicious as well. You can see that the IP is making a DNS connection, but Logsign SIEM says the IP is suspicious because here it is. IP is suspicious because it's in the threat intelligence IPs lists. This is how we are enriching the data by using these behavior analytics capabilities. You will see a normal traffic, but Logsign SIEM say that IP is suspicious because it was making a brute force attack 10 minutes ago. And not only for brute force, but also you can detect the port scanners, database scanners, excessive mail senders and receivers, P2P application users, excessive GET, post, or head request to my web servers, the host and other DDoS attacks, and PowerShell base 64 attacks, and POD attackers, and vulnerabilities, ransomwares, for example, XSS, SQL injections, and more. Over 400 predefined lists are making the checkup and detecting behaviors, so you can use it in sites, enrichments, and also for the correlation rules. Here it is. Over 500 predefined correlation rules are listing in here with different categories for vulnerability detections, brute force, exploit, command control, credential access, discovery, and privilegation. For just one tactic of MITRE attack, defense evasion, we have 83 different correlation rules. You can search for the results, edit, and add your own one easily. Let's see how we can add a new rule. New rule, you can select your category, you can add a new one. And you can select the severity. This is an important point because according to the severity that you have selected, the risk score coefficient value will be decided. If this correlation has been run by any object, the risk score will be calculated or recalculated. You can tag it for security users and assign the roles that the security team can see these results for a role-based access. Or you can add your rules and use any nested columns. Let's use source IP, and you can say is to track one IP addresses results, or exclude one, or define a range, define values, starts with or ends with. These are the conditions. Running is in memory. If you want to look at the behaviors, you can select all the behaviors. For example, if an IP address has been listed at brute force attacker hosts to create a basic rule, you can go ahead and say, if the source IP behavior as also port scanner hosts. This is the cross correlation rule using behavior and risk-based. You can get this information from Active Directory, get this information from your switch server, for example. And you can go ahead and say, if the same source IP behaves as infected host, target of DDoS, spyware activity on many hosts, at least one of them, after triggering these two rules, has to be triggered by these IP to be added to this list. And also you can add the last condition as if the IP has been tagged suspicious, attacker, or victim by any behavior before. Here you have an advanced correlation rule that's created. Here it is, you can see the action and notification. Action column, source IP to be blocked, username to be disabled, destination IP to be quarantined, for example. You can add a fit list for a detailed and further needs, send an email or SMS to any user with the alert notification. With the security automation feature, this is the automated response. After you detect this IP, do not ask it to anyone. Go and block it. On the firewall, tag it with MITRE attack tags, and send it to any source solution for more comprehensive case management. This is how you can create a new correlation rule. And this is how you can manage it. The last point is the most important point, is a new feature of Logsign SIEM, that the incident management feature. You can change the time frame and the triggered correlation rule, by which action objects, for how many times, priorities, risk scores, owners, and the categories. You can see, if you click on one, you can see the detailed summary page. If you click on more, you can see all the details about this incidents. Triggered incident and assigning, you can escalate it to anyone at any stage. The IP that triggered this rule today and the total amount for this IP, how many responses have been taken, incident count, and the artifacts. How many different IPs, hosts, users, or URLs this IP is related. You can see, and you can see that here, and you can add a new. This IP is related with the user object, and add a new artifacts. Now we have a new user, and in the artifacts, you will see different each incidents this user is related. Then you can tag it with any team to see these results and the MITRE ATT&CK metrics. Before triggering this rule, which other rules has been triggered with which different categories? You can see more details for detection and response. And you can also directly jump to the source of MITRE ATT&CK. And let's see how we can manage the incidents and finish. You can see the entities, incident that has been triggered, intelligence map from which country it's coming, and the notable event for these IP, for network connections, process creations, client relations, DNS activities and identities, and the last triggered alerts. You can see all analysis before which inputs are included. And you can see it's another point. You can see the response stages, at which stage we are, analysis, containment, eradication, recovery, and post-incidents. How we can manage it? Let's use the magic button. And here it is, our response integration that we have done before. And without leaving this page, you can collect more evidence by using Logsign. Get the successful logon activities for this IP, or process terminations, or network connections. Just within a few seconds, it will create a new table, and you will see the network connections for this IP as denied or allowed for different applications. And now the response count is what we're at the stage of analysis. Let's investigate the IP if it is suspicious. Use IP. Send the IP and get the investigation results, again within a few seconds. The confidence score, risk score, and by how many different sources this IP has been. Confidence score is 100. Coming from Netherlands, total reports is over 600. So you can ask it to other investigation tools like VirusTotal, Xforce, but you don't have to do it. You have to take your action. Just block the IP on the firewall, add it to Logsign block, intelligence block. Now you have done your first touch, and you can jump to the stage of press. If you want to disable the user or take an action on the user, you can also use the LDAP integration to disable the user or to jump to eradication, because you stop the source and kill the destination. Use the EDR agent to shut down the computer or kill the process, delay the file. You can quickly shut down the host and execute it. The host has been shut down on the EDR agents. And now you're at the stage of eradication. And the response count is 4. You can see the successful taken action. Then you can recover the firewall rules to fix or endpoint agents to be updated. You can unblock an IP address inside the lists. And you will jump to the recovery stage. Successfully unblock an IP address that you have blocked mistakenly before. And it's time to post incident. This is the lessons learned stage of NIST. You can make a quick meeting with your analysts, and after your meeting is finished, you can do the lessons learned. Why this incident has been happened, what we can do not to have this again. You can close it then with false positive, no action needed, result, or other descriptions. This is how you can manage the incident lifecycle management with Logsign SIEM's incident management capabilities. Finally, you can see all the alerts as triggered before in the alert rules overview. the triggered incidents and the action objects, at what time, which incidents has been triggered for how many times, and notable alerts, and an interactive dashboards. Internal DNS scanner detected, and here it is. So as a summary, you can collect, monitor, detect, search, find, and manage the incident response features and lifecycle management with Logsign SIEM easily and provide a 360-degree security approach. So thank you very much for listening to me. If you have any questions, I would like to reply.
Коллеги, если у кого-то есть вопросы, прошу озвучить, написать в чат. У нас есть вопрос в чате. Махмуд, не могли бы вы ответить на вопрос?
Yeah, sure. Which question? I couldn't catch it.
Yeah,
Tell us, please, about the listening model of the Logsign SIEM.
Listening model.
Licensing, I guess.
Licensing, I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay. Mahmoud, let me clarify this issue.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. This week we're gonna launch our new product, new pricing list, new licensing list, and after now, I want to brief you about our licensing model. There will be no log source and capacity limit for our products. There will be product packets differentiating in product features. So you can only, you will be able to only have SIEM features or SIEM and SOAR features together. So I think Roman and the Sofrom team will inform you after we launch our new pricing model, but you're gonna like it, I assure you, because it's hard to estimate the capacity of SIEM products. So the new licensing model will be a good one.
Okay, Mahmoud, I see Bogdan Fyodorov asked us if we have embedded a vulnerability scanner in the system.
Of course, yes. And an embedded vulnerability management assessment tool is integrated, but we don't have a tool of it. We can get integrated with the vulnerability assessment and management tools that the customer has and start scan jobs, get the vulnerabilities and the reports to use it for the enrichment and in the correlation rules and the reports. But we don't have our own vulnerability scanner and management tool. We can get integrated.
Okay. Another question from Bogdan Fyodorov. If we have capability for search file in the network using HashSum.
Yes, of course. And to finding the hashes, you have to use the incident management, because after the detections, we can get the file, search for the hashes or get the hashes inside and search for the hashes for the investigation tools. And after you be sure, you can take the actions. For example, you can delete the file or kill the process that runs the file. And it can be done with Logsign SIEM detection and response capabilities.
Another question, again, from Bogdan Fyodorov. I think we should give some reward for this guest, because he's really active. If we have something similar with H IDs and IDs for active control for system status, for changing of file or file system.
Yes, of course. And that type of integrations we have, as I mentioned. And we know that the attackers are not coming from outside every time. We have to listen to insider threats. So we have the integration methodologies for nets and hits and network span port activities by using flow type integrations like IPFix, NetFlow, SFlow, GFlow to monitor the internal attackers. So we have such type of integrations and we know the importance of it.
Okay, thank you. And regarding hash sum search, do we have integration with Palo Alto?
Palo Alto, yeah. Yes. We have not only for data collection, also for response. We have integration with Palo Alto. I showed the example on Palo Alto also.
We have technology alliance partnership with Palo Alto, Trend Micro, Sophos, CyberArk, and F5, and many on the road also.
Okay. Oh, and also question about integration with Fortinet.
Of course, Fortinet is also. For the quick integrations for the firewalls, we mostly get integrated, fully integrated with Palo Alto, Fortinet, Checkpoint, Sophos, and other some firewalls. And for EDR, you can quickly integrate with threat intelligence, Trend Micro and ThreatMine and other type of solutions. So mostly integrated with Fortinet and Palo Alto we are.
We have another question from sorry, I missed, but it's regarding if with this solution agent-based.
Agent, yes. Logsign SIEM can be deployed as agent-based or agentless. And so far you can integrate with third-party agents, or you will be able to use the Logsign agents in a short time or period. And with the third-party agents, also Logsign SIEM can be deployed. We can work with any type of agents like NXLog, Epilog, and other types of log agents. And also Logsign agent will be available within a few months.
Okay. We have one more question. What operating system Logsign use?
Running on Linux operating system, Ubuntu distribution.
Okay. Any other question, colleagues?
Есть еще несколько вопросов от Богдана в блоке вопросы и ответы.
Мы уже ответили на них. Мы только не ввели ответ. Okay. Looks, this all questions for today. Я напоминаю, коллеги, что если у вас возникнут вопросы, компания Softprom и Logsign всегда готова ответить. Поэтому, если эти вопросы возникнут позже, вы всегда можете связаться с нами, и мы ответим на ваши вопросы.
Роман, прошу прощения, еще один вопрос есть.
Да, окей.
Посмотри, пожалуйста, в чате.
Ага. Finally, we have another question. Please clarify, do we have both on-prem and cloud solution?
Oh, yes. For now, Logsign solution can be deployed as fully on-prem. And on-prem virtual and physical environments, it can be deployed. Also, the customer can provide a server on their own private clouds. Yes, we can deploy it on the cloud, but we cannot offer an SAS or cloud native solution yet, but we're planning to do it, as I know that in the beginning of the next year.
Okay. Thank you, Mahmoud.
Thank you very much.
Коллеги, я надеюсь, мы ответили на все ваши вопросы. Если у вас остались дополнительно какие-то вопросы, адресуйте их нам, пожалуйста, на почту, мы с радостью на них ответим. Я хочу поблагодарить наших спикеров. Большое спасибо, также наших переводчиков. И всем пожелать хорошего дня. Все, кто ответили на опрос, мы с вами свяжемся в ближайшее время и предоставим всю необходимую информацию. Спасибо большое и хорошего дня.